I'm very happy to see all of you. So we are going to talk more about women chess, some of the interesting stories about women players. We know, all of us know about past world champions and current world champions and all the men players, but generally very few women players are known to people. I don't know how many of you know first world champion, first women world champion. How many of you know? Huh? Who was that? No?
From Poland, I guess.
First world women champion. No?
Nona Gaprindashvili.
No?
She's Chinese.
No Chinese. China started playing recently, in last maybe 25 years. You don't know? See, that's why I thought that maybe I should let you introduce to all those unknown players. Although they were very strong players and famous players, many of us don't know. There are various reasons for not knowing. Generally, current trend is that we are just interested in playing online or offline. But we just enjoy playing. We don't want to gain knowledge. And history of any game is very important for development of our chess. If we know something about the history, it definitely adds to our knowledge and also help us improve. You know, Garry Kasparov has written a series of books, my great predecessor. And the only reason for writing those books was that, okay, all the players should be aware of the history of chess. Otherwise, the history will be gone in the air. Okay, so I'm very happy for that. The occasion is very apt for telling stories about women players. When I was young, I heard two mythological references about chess. One was that Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati used to play chess at Kailash, but I don't know how far that is true. But of course, I mean, all these mythological references interest us.
In South, there is one temple and there is Lord Shiva and Parvati playing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that idol is, people are worshipping that idol only.
Oh.
There is one temple in South only for chess.
Oh, okay. And there is another story, and that I was very much impressed by. When I was very young, I was told that, you know, chess originated in India, everybody is aware of. But there is one story saying, with mythological reference, that chess was invented by a woman. Anybody has any guesses? Correct? Ravan's wife Mandodari. So when that epic battle was going on between Lord Ram and Ravan was very much stressed and he was not able to make any strategy for his battlefield. Looking at her stressful husband, Mandodari came forward and she told him that, okay, I will tell you some strategies, and then that's how she showed the game of chess. In current times, there is one more story. Have you heard of a story of Dilaram? How many of you know Dilaram? No? No one knows? Oh, ChessBase India only read, I knew this, but ChessBase India also carried this, I think, story. So, this is about the story of one king from Iran. It is around 600 AD. So what happened is that this king Iran was fond of chess. He had many wives. Okay, so one of his favorite wife was Dilara. She was also a chess player, and she also knew the game of chess. That time it was called Shatranj, not chess. And the rules were little different. There was, apart from rook, there was one piece called elephant. Okay, it was denoted by elephant, but it is actually bishop, and bishop doesn't move like normal bishop. It jumps over a piece and it moves 2 squares. Like knight it jumps, but it goes diagonally 2 squares. Okay. So game is going on, and then the king is playing the game with one prince from foreign. Okay, so he said that time they used to play on stake. He stakes all his wealth and he loses everything. And now he is very much upset what to do. Then finally, because that time, it is very unfortunate, but many times women were put on stake. Like we know about Mahabharata also. So he said that okay, now I will put my wife at stake and this will be my final stake. I will show you the position. So the game starts, the game goes on, and then a position comes where he is about to lose. And he is now very much sad, and he doesn't know what to do because he is going to lose his favorite wife. So all the wives are sitting behind the parda. And then he decided, okay, let me at least confess to my wife and say sorry to her because I have put her on stake. And now I am going to lose her also. So he goes inside. Then that Kilaram, his wife, she understood his dilemma and she says that okay, don't worry. But she wants to convey the message without others understanding it. And she conveys the message in the form of poetry. So she says that what moves are to be played. That sacrifice the rook. So exact words I will show you because I don't remember those words exactly. Sacrifice the rook, give the check with the bishop, push the pawn, give the check, and give the check with the knight, and it will be checkmate. And he understood that message that she conveyed, he understood, and then he went out and he won his game. So probably that is first known chess problem, like which is known to all of us. So I will be showing that problem, and then I will be showing you one or two games played by women players, first by first world champion. So do you want to make guess? At least try your like whatever you have. Suppose somewhere you have heard, just try. But I will tell you immediately. That is not an issue.
I think she is from Poland. Dropping on her name. Guru, I'm forgetting the name.
Okay, she is not from Poland. Okay, go ahead. Where she can be from?
Russia?
Huh? No. Russia. Okay, Russia is okay. Huh? That is also correct. Russian. I mean, her parents were from Czechoslovakia. But name. Who can tell the name?
Any hints?
Hints? Okay, she won not only the first champion, 8 times consecutively she won the Women World Championship.
Till her death, right?
Till her death, yes.
I know.
She died little early in some boxing, she lost her life.
Start from name.
M is her surname. Her first name starts from V. Okay, I think it is difficult for you, it will be very difficult for you if you have not come across the name. Her name was Vera Menchik. Does it sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay, so basically she was Russian, born to Czechoslovakians, and then she moved to Britain. And there she played tournaments, and we know that FIDE recently celebrated centenary last year on 20th July 1924. FIDE was established. So we had celebration. So initially FIDE used to conduct tournaments for women's separate tournaments, like all other sports where there are separate women events and separate men events. And that time Vera used to play against like round robin tournaments with women, and she won world championship 8 times. But then FIDE found that women need to get more exposure, and they decided to allow women players to play in men's tournaments. And that's how Vera started playing. She was the first few women who played in men tournaments, and she played against all the strong players of that time, including Capablanca. So today we are going to see one game played by her in against Milner-Barry. Have you heard of Milner-Barry? There is one opening. Milner-Barry was a great theoretician. Okay, so she played a game against him, and although that time most of the players were not aware of any theory, there were no books easily available, and like today a computer was not there in picture. Nobody dreamt of computer. You know, when I used to play, every year we used to play for, we used to go for various international tournaments, and our bag used to contain more number of books than clothes. because That was the only thing that we can refer to. We did not have computer, we did not have nothing. And there was no possibility of getting access to your opponent's games. Like pairing will come at the last minute, you will not have time for preparation, okay, you go and play on the board. And most of the time we were just carrying like a porter all the books here and there. So it was a big task for us. So when you come here, what do? You read books or you play amongst yourself? Huh? You read books. So all of you will sit together or everybody will make a pair and read the books? Yeah. And do you analyze while reading the book? Yeah. Do you like a position comes and do you analyze it? And then do you verify whether your analysis is correct? Okay. So can you see this position? Okay. So this is the Dilaram's position. And Miss Dilaram is wife's name, but that Iranian king was white and his opponent, that foreign prince, was black. If it is black's turn to play, you know black is giving checkmate. Generally all other rules are same. There are two very strange rules, that pawn can promote to a piece of the same square where it reaches. So G8 it goes, it will become knight. F8 it goes, it will become bishop. Okay, and the starting position, king and queen position, will be different in our normal chess. And this bishop is actually elephant which can jump. Okay, so it can jump over the knight and go to f5. Understood? So in this position, yeah. So the poem she said, don't give up Dilaram. Means don't give up me, but give up the two rooks. Advance the elephant, that is bishop, and a pawn and checkmate with knight. So can you understand the sequence?
Yes.
Yeah. So first move is obviously rook h8 check.
Knight moves the same.
Yeah, but knight is not required. Yes, knight moves the same. Bishop only jumps over. The king h8 is forced. And now bishop jumps. Bishop f5 check. Discovered check. f5. No, f5. So this is not the normal move for us. But in those time, in this shatranj, it was called as shatranj. Bishop can jump over a piece and moves two squares. And discovered check comes, king goes to g8. So she says sacrifice both the rooks. Then king h8 and give the check with the pawn. King g8 and knight h6 mate. Isn't it fantastic?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the story of Dilaram. I don't think that any of you knew about it. None of you knew? Oh. So okay, interesting story, because like if you tell someone it is very interesting, but you have to remember this position to tell the story, that how the checkmate happened. Correct? Okay. So now we will move on to a game by Vera Menchik. No, it's okay. It's okay. So although theory was not so prevalent at that time, most of the games were played based on the basic principles. Okay, so basic principles were followed right from the beginning. Like, okay, all the past masters have laid path for us to understand that how to make progress in a game, and we know all of us are well versed with the basic principles like center control, development of pieces, safety of king and safety of material. Okay, so center control is very important, but in this particular game Milner-Barry is black and he took some risk. So game went on d4, d5, c4, c6, d4, d5, sorry, move order was little different, d4, nf6, nf3, d5, c4, c6. It's okay. You can put d5, c6 and nf3, nf6. nf3, knight f6. So this is standard position. All of you know Slav defense, correct? And then nc3 was played. Knight c3. And what all moves do you know? Do you know anything about this position? What generally black plays here?
E6,
Huh?
Usually you can play E6 and
E6.
the semi-small.
Yeah.
You can take
Or dc4 also,
D6,
correct? Okay. But here black played bf5. So bf5 has some little drawback, bf5. You know any drawback about this?
The d7 pawn is undefended, so usually white can play cd5, cd5
And queen b3, correct? Yeah. Anyway, this game was played in 1935. So here white played cd5. And now again standard move will be cd5 because you want to keep control of center. But here Milner-Barry played knight d5. Knight d5. Knight capture the pawn. And you put the pawns now here and there. Yeah. So if this position comes, what you would like to do? If you are white, what will be your plan now?
develop the white.
No, but what you will be eager to do? E4. E4, correct? Everybody would like to do E4. Of course, E4 is not working now. Why? Knight c8 and the pawn will go. Yeah, so white cannot play E4, although white is very eager to play that. And developing this bishop he is not finding a suitable square for development of this bishop. So white decides to play E3. He has in his mind a plan of playing E4, but white is Vera Menchik, by the way. So white is making a plan, but she is just waiting, biding her time. Black played ND7. No, sorry, E6. E6. And now what move you feel is more appropriate?
Bishop d3.
Yeah. What is the difference in bishop d3 and bishop c4? Yeah. So this f5 bishop is generally considered a giant because many times it creates a lot of problems for us. But in Slav defense, it has the difficulty because of queen b3. Otherwise, if you are able to establish bishop on f5, black will not have any difficulty completing his development. And it is in our interest to exchange that bishop. But Vera played in a different way. And in this particular position, what plans black will have?
You can continue with bishop e7.
Yeah, after development, what will be the other important plan for black?
You can eventually try to play c5 or e5.
Exactly. Black will try to challenge white's center. That is very important. So white plays bishop c4. So by playing bishop c4, white is discouraging c5. Yeah. So bishop c4, then he played nd7 and castle. Bishop d6. Now what move comes to your mind? Okay. What else? Huh? What? Queen b3. What you will do with queen b3? That b7 pawn can be guarded very easily.
Knight e2.
Knight e2. Why knight e2?
Knight g3 and then we can play.
But that is wastage of time, no? In opening, we should not waste moves because it will give time to opponent. Yes.
Queen e2.
Yes. Queen e2. What is the plan?
e4.
Exactly. He played queen e2. So now queen e2. Yeah. So now after e4, even if knight c3 is captured, your e4 pawn is guarded. Very simple. It is not something. We can say that like novelty or something. But Vera is trying to find plan suitable to e4. So queen e2 was played. Now black has various moves like knight f6 is there, knight c3 is there. What do you think can black play? In case of knight c3, how will you continue? Knight takes c3, pawn takes c3, okay. Knight f6. You capture knight c3. Huh?
After knight f6, we can go for knight d2.
Excellent. Because you are again pursuing the plan of e4. Here moving the same piece again is not loss of time. Because we are going to gain tempo and we are preparing to capture or expand our center and taking full control of center. Anyway, this bishop right now has no good square to develop. Anyway, this did not happen. Black played in the game bishop g4. Bishop g4. So again black is discouraging e4 because what he wants to do for e4? Knight f4. Yeah? Then actually giving away bishop for that knight. Although these two pawns are in the center, they are little loose. Because there is no pawns on c3 or f2. Like center two pawns, they can be challenged very easily. Anyway, white played e4. Knight f4. Now bishop f4 is not such good move. What you will gain by playing? Yeah, queen e3, very good. I am maintaining the tension. I don't want to release the tension. And when I play queen e3, I am giving another threat. What is that? e5. Yeah. So black played e5. Okay. Now what should you do? What do you think about this position? What all moves are possible for white?
D5.
Huh?
D5.
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 D5. And knight D5. You want D5. You want DE5. What else? Knight takes E5? And if you play like you are suggesting D5, Knight E5, and what is your continuation thereafter?
Bishop going takes the knight.
And then is queen F4 a good move?
No.
Why? Knight F3 check and you will lose. So D5 is not correct move. Of course, Vera knew this, and then she found a refutation for this E5. Now can you think of some other move? Rook D1. Okay. Huh? D5. Why you are closing your bishop? What you are gaining? Actually, with E5, he is strengthening his knight on F4. Now, if you play D5, that knight is going to remain there, and you know knight near the king is always dangerous piece. You know it, yeah? Knight on F4 or knight on F5 on short castle position, yes. Huh?
B3.
B3, what you want to do with B3?
Means I want to cancel the bishop on the E2.
You want to cancel the bishop. But see, right now, what we think about black's position, what black is lacking? Castling. Yeah? Bishop F7. What is your calculation for bishop F7? Yes, that is the difference. Earlier when you played E5, it's not a check. But now, Vera sacrificed this, she just refuted his idea. She played bishop F7 check, and after king F7, you are playing DE5. So opponent did not play king F7. Because now, after bishop F7, king F7, DE5, knight E5, queen F4 is a check. And then you are just winning. Black is losing the right of castling. You are completely developed. So he played king F7, king E7. Huh? E5. Pawn E5. Pawn is on E5, black's. E5, E5. Yeah. So, what you will play now? And again the same thing will happen. Now I can play knight E5. Huh? Okay. And you know, all of you know that in every position, whenever we are trying to find out candidate moves, we have to look for, basically first thing that we have to eliminate is look for checks, captures and threats. So you eliminate that and then only you go ahead. Huh? think it's not a difficult move. Only thing you are not ready to think. It's very simple move. You are thinking of d5, but you are not thinking of knight e5. Huh? You told, did anybody say knight e5? No, na? Huh?
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but then there's a difference. When I play d5, you play knight e5, and if you play knight e5, I can play bishop e5.
Yeah.
And you cannot play queen f4 as it is.
But e5 is still 95, right?
But now when you play knight e5, put the pawn on knight, knight on d7, na? Knight is on d7, na? Yeah. So he played knight e5, she played knight e5, knight e5, opponent captured, d e5, bishop e5. Okay, now the position is little clear on the board, and what do you think? Huh? No rush. When we are having such a dominating position, opponent has lost the right of castling, we should not make mistakes. At that time, we have to play solid chess, maintaining our chances.
Bishop b3.
Yes, of course, save the bishop. We are already, that bishop has done its job. Bishop b3. Yeah? So we are pawn up, black has lost right of castling, and it is almost winning position. Okay, that e5 bishop, knight on f4 and bishop g4, little troublesome, but white can definitely come out of it without much difficulty. While black played g5, again trying to strengthen the knight. Huh? Queen c5 check, yes. So actually after bishop f7 check, it is easier to find the move. Still our pieces are, we need to organize our pieces or maneuver our pieces a little more. He played, opponent played king f6. Because queen d6 is not good. What will happen? Just I will capture and then I can play g3 and drive away the knight. So he played king f6. Okay, now next stage, how will we play? Bishop e3, normal development. So actually here not much strategy is required. So I am not discussing much. Okay, opponent played knight d3. Double attack. Queen c4, threatening queen f7 mate. Queen d7, stopping the mate on f7. Now f3, all standard moves, because we just want to show away pieces which are near our king. Bishop e6. Now what do you play? Again a very important moment. Of course simplifying position is possible, but Vera found another very strong move. Knight d5 check, yes, excellent. And cd5, queen d3. So the position simplified, but actually eliminating opponent dangerous pieces and maintaining your attack. Yeah? Rook d8. Now what should you do?
Queen d2.
Okay. Huh? Yes. When opponent's king is in the center, don't waste your time. You have to just trap that king. Yeah? Don't give him time. f4 and the game is over. Because gf4, bf4, bf4, rook f4 and king e7, ed5, everything is exposed and opponent resigned. So this game was played by that lady in 1935 against a strong theoretician. So she was very strong player, although now she is history for most of us. Even many women players may not be knowing about her. Forget about you youngsters, but even old women players may not be knowing about her. So we must give respect to our past. Yeah? Okay. So what do you think you learned from this game? Bishop f7. Okay. Tactics you learned. Anything else?
When the opposition king is in center, don't waste moves.
Yes.
Directly attack.
Yeah, so you have to play more energetically.
Aggression.
Yeah. Yes.
You can move the same piece twice in the opening if you have a strong attack or a tempo.
Yes.
We
Yes.
should not waste tempo in an opening.
You should not?
Waste the tempo in an opening.
Yes, that is also correct. Anything more?
Keep the tension until the right moment.
Okay.
When the piece job is over, bring that piece back.
When?
When you are satisfied that the piece job is over, bring that piece back.
Yeah, of course. When you try to give attack and your piece survives, you have to bring it back. Okay?
When you are better, don't just exchange pieces.
Yeah.
That's also first we should eliminate the knight, but we have to keep all the tension.
Yeah.
Because of the tension, we have to
Yes. So see, one more thing, all of you know that one person who has advantage in development, okay, he should not exchange his pieces. We have space advantage. We should not exchange pieces. When opponent is restricted and he's short of moves, give him opportunity to make mistakes. Because when he doesn't have good moves, he cannot find good moves, then definitely he is going to make mistakes. So you have to hold that position. Don't release the tension. And one very important thing is that giving away control of center is not good. Here, opponent played knight d5, and then white's all plan evolved around that e4 break. That e4 advancement, not break. So these are very important things and very nice game, because bishop f7 was a very alert reply. If she doesn't play bishop f7, maybe she will not have, opponent will be able to consolidate.
Yes.
He will be able to complete the development. So timing is very important. You cannot miss such opportunities, right? Okay. Yes.
What would have been the position if she took the bishop on f7?
We discussed, no? d5 is coming, and earlier when knight e5 is played, queen f4 is not a check. In this particular position, because king is on f7, we can play queen f4 check. See the previous, this particular game, on the previous move also this was possible, like d5 directly, without bf7. But that was not working because after queen f4, knight f3 check is coming. But you are sacrificing bishop and bringing that king on f7. You can capture on f4 with check. Yeah?
And when we went queen e2 for e4, how is it different from when rook e1?
Rook e1, because anyway we want to make use of queen, correct? And we want to connect the rooks. A part of our development is, as you complete the development, move the queen and connect the rooks. So e2 is the ideal square for the queen, whereby
With the idea of rook e1 coming
yeah,
back.
you can, I mean, rooks are getting connected, your e4 threat is there, because we don't know where rook is best placed. e1, d1, c1, such times, such flexible moves like queen e2, because otherwise we don't know which is best square for the queen. And as part of development, we after completing development of minor pieces and after castling, we want to move queen and connect the rooks. This is part of our development plan. So queen e2 is in order. Yeah. I hope you like this game. You know Milner-Barry attack? Any one of you know?
It's a gambit.
Yeah, Gambit attack means played by white. Shall I show you just the move? I won't show the game. There is one very nice game played by Tal in that Milner, because that Milner-Barry name came, so I am just showing you his idea. It is actually French defense. e4, e6, e4, e6, d4, d5. What most of you play against French? Huh? Exchange. Knight c3, knight d2, e5. Yeah. Okay, French is actually a very dynamic opening for black also, and black is taking disadvantage of development of that c8 bishop, but black has some play around the center. Okay, it's not that, I mean, French is still very popular, although it is not considered, what you say, very, black always suffers from that lack of space. But c5 is very important, and in French defense in many variations. Yeah, so here e5, this advanced version, this Milner Gambit comes in that Milner-Barry. c5, c3, knight c6, knight f3, queen b6, and bishop d3. This is Milner Gambit.
Instead of queen b6, first we could not develop our knight to
Where?
e7, knight e7.
That is possible. Keep that queen on d8. For knight e7, And white can also play dc5. Okay, this is one line. dc5 because okay, I am giving away my center, but e5 pawn is still strong. I will put my bishop on d3, knight on f3. And when you or sometimes I support that c5 pawn with b4. And the only way for black to generate the play is by playing b6 and exchanging there. So
idea was to keep pressure on d4 pawn.
yeah, that is the idea. When in advanced variation, black's main idea is to attack this d4 pawn. So queen b6 is in that direction only. Yeah, because I am pressurizing d4 point. Black will always avoid capturing on d4 till the time this knight is developed. If black tries to capture, then it is very easy square for the knight, and white definitely gets advantage. White will not have any problem if black plays cd4 early. So black has to play cd4. Black's main plans in this position is targeting d4 or targeting the center by attacking d4 and attacking e5 by playing f6. These are, ideas. We have to execute it at right time. We cannot be in a hurry to play them. Okay. So in this particular gambit, he plays bd3. Of course, cd4 is not possible to capture now because of discover check. He plays bd7, threatening cd4. And now he plays castle. No, sorry, queen b6, bd3. It happened cd4, bd7. I am showing this. Yeah, but first bd7 is played generally. Anyway, I am showing you the moves of the game only. cd4, bd7. And now he could have played, because now that d4 pawn is directly under attack. So actually one of the moves possible is bishop c2 also. I have seen somewhere. Okay, and knight b4, that is possible. Anyway, he played castle. And now knight d4. This is the gambit.
Knight d4.
Yeah, knight d4, queen d4. Knight c3. The idea of knight c3 is to play knight b5. And if you play queen e5, rook e1, queen f3 and d5 comes under pressure. Anyway, so we are not going to see this game. This is game between Tal and Gideon Stalberg. I just wanted to show you what that Milner-Barry Gambit is. Okay. We are going to see because I want to show you games by women players considering today's special day. Okay. Many of you know about Nona Gaprindashvili.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she was a Georgian player and very strong Georgian player. I mean, she is living legend. She is still active at the age of I think 83 or 82. She still plays in tournaments, travels around the world as chess ambassador. So she won the championship, world championship between 62 to 78, and she was the first woman who was awarded men's grandmaster title by FIDE. Yeah, like grandmaster title. GM title. She was WGM, but she was awarded because of her performance and the strength. She was awarded this title. Actually, women chess is not. I mean, I must admit that women chess is not as strong because of various factors. First of all, women chess started much later. Secondly, participation of women in chess is very less. We can consider it as 8 to 10% of men population. So obviously, the base level of strength is little less. Although today many women, I mean those who are playing actively and those who are very strong like Divya Deshmukh, who has won many tournaments, open tournaments, Vaishali, and in the past also the Judit Polgar, who was among the top 10 in the world. But still, women players, we cannot consider them at par in terms of competition against men because their number is very less. And we must do something to encourage them and to increase their participation. Then only there will be definite revival in women chess, because now most of the women players are playing due to support of their parents. Because when their parents are supportive, they are able to excel. Because we know now chess has become very competitive sport, and it is not just enough to study and go and play. We need continuous preparation. We need to invest lot many hours to understand various positions, remember various openings, and then have good knowledge of middle game and end game. So you have to remain invested in this game for a longer time, and then only you are likely to get result. So this game is played by Gaprindashvili, one of the best games played by her. She defeated her opponent in barely 17 moves. Okay, and this is a theoretically important game, so you will like it. How many of you play E4? Okay. How many of you face accelerated dragon? And what do you play against accelerated dragon? Maroxipine. Okay. So Maroxipine is opening wherein white tries to keep good control in the center and gain space. Black of course has various plans. What all plans do you know about Maroxipine? I mean, how to like you are playing from black side of Maroxipine. What are the plans? Some of the plans. General plans. Okay. So when your bishop is on G7, generally we should do something along the diagonal. And one of the plans is, of course, after development play A5, A4, A3. Yeah, this is one of the plans. Of course, see, all the plans just give us a rough idea. How to utilize them, for that you need more knowledge. We cannot just say, okay, I know this plan and I will go for this. Okay, the timing has to be correct. Anyway, this game is not about that, but it is Maroxipine game. E4, C5, knight F3, knight C6, D4, CD4, knight D4, E5 is not good move, because E5 is going to, not good move in the sense it is not accelerated dragon. Then E5 will go to Sveshnikov, like you will play knight B5 and then there are various options. G6, and now we have time to play C4 because E4 pawn is not under attack. C4, bishop G7, bishop E3, E3, knight is under attack. Knight F6, knight C3, yeah. And here the standard move is D6, yeah. But also there is one other possibility, NG4, which was very popular at that time. But in a game between Bent Larsen and Petrosian was defeated in this variation, and this variation became less popular, but again it got revived. So at that time he played knight G4, queen G4 of course, because you cannot give that bishop. Yeah, means knight C6 is not good. 1 minute, just knight C6, like here knight G4 is okay. Like you try to play knight C6, it is not good, because knight A3 you are giving away bishop, and in long run it is not good. So queen G4, knight D4, queen D1, yes. And now E5. Now if you go knight C6 or knight A6, I will simply play rook C1 and complete my remaining development. You don't have any problem. E5. Now you have to guess the move, sorry.
Queen D2 and bishop E2 as well.
Queen D2. And?
Bishop E2 as well sounds fine.
Okay. Anything else? Huh?
C5. C5.
Now? Why? Bishop C4. But that pawn will be loose, you know. What you are getting? Bishop C4 only anyway. That pawn is not strong, no? F4 cannot be good. So actually it is difficult. I mean, this move it is not easy to find. Of course it is steady. No. Yes. What you said, knight? What?
Knight D5.
Not knight D5. The main piece that creating problem for us is D4 knight. Knight B5, challenging that knight. And in case opponent captures knight B5, after CB5, although our pawns are doubled, this weakness in the D file will be enough for us to get advantage. Okay. So knight B5 was played. Knight B5 is not good. Opponent played castle. Now, what do you think about knight D4? Huh? Is it a good move, bad move? Huh? Analyze knight D4. Yeah, without making moves.
thing, if you go knight d4, e4, you can't really play bishop d4 because of queen a5.
And go ahead
You can't castle a white would have to play king e4 after that.
and go ahead.
Rook e8,
Yes.
then you have to play like f3,
Yeah. And if he plays f3, then
f5.
no. Are you with him? What he is analyzing? Are you able to visualize that? No, that's he analyzed. See, knight d4, e d4, b d4. If white plays bishop d4, queen a5 check, king d2, then rook e8, then f3. We have reached up to here. So actually this is a trap, and white is losing in this position. So you want to try, you try, otherwise I'll show. Yeah, try, that is best. All of you try. First try to visualize the position, whether you are reaching to that position in your mind.
So rook e8 is right.
Yeah, rook e8, f3 is right. What you are gaining by f5? And why not d5? Opening up the bishop. Is it the same? f5 and d5 is the same? Absolutely not.
And d5
No, the only d5 is correct. f5 is not correct because you are not. See, every attempt should be made to bring more pieces in the war. We cannot play with the limited army.
yeah, it opens
Yeah,
up
it
the
opens
bishop.
up-
Correct, opens up the bishop. And not only that, immediately there is, you can sacrifice the rook because bishop g4 check is coming.
Ah, yeah.
It's a very important idea. So play knight d4. I mean, we are just showing it on the board for everyone to understand. E d4, b d4, queen a5 check. King e2, because now bishop c3, queen d2 are not coming here. Rook e8, f3, and now see f5, how f5 will help you only see difference between f5 and d5. d5, always center open and bring your pieces. d5, yeah, and now he cannot play cd5, no? He played bishop g7. Bishop g7, like he captures the bishop. Rook e4 check. And now see the importance of open bishop. Keep the bishop there, rook e4 check. And now f4 is not coming because of bishop g4 check. And king f2, queen b6 check, king g3, queen b6 check, king g3, queen e3, queen e3, e3. That queen, oh.
Black queen on
Black queen.
in front of the
And after this now he is in mating attack. Yeah?
rook g4 is coming.
Yeah. h3, for example, stopping rook g4. Queen f4 check, king f2, and king g7. Recover the material with lost position. Yeah? So this is a big trap in this opening. Okay. So can you arrange the position? So none of you have seen this knight b5 move?
Fine.
Huh?
I thought you could wait with it. I guess black can later prevent it with a6. Then you won't be allowed to go 95.
No, but that d4 knight is more of a pain for us because we don't have pawn on c2 and e2.
You can later put a knight on e2 and try to do the same.
But it is still lengthy process, you know. If you can immediately do it with knight b5 without any harm because it cannot capture on b5. Yeah? And knight d4 can be played at leisure also. We did not capture immediately bishop d4.
Is a white pawn
e4.
e4 pawn.
Yeah? So knight b5 he played castle, he played bishop e2. White played bishop e2. Just development. Okay? And black played queen h4. Queen h4, queen black. Yeah, attacking e4 immediately. So what should you do? Huh? Knight? What you are gaining? Okay, temporarily you are saving the pawn. Okay, do you want to capture the c8 bishop with so much effort? Okay. No, he played simple chess. He just first played knight d4, e4, bd4. He captured all that and allowed him to capture. This is sorry, I said he. This is white is Nona Gaprindashvili, okay? And now white played queen e4. Black played queen e4. I'm sorry. Huh? Queen g2 happened in the game. Bishop g7, queen g2. What do you think now? Was it a good decision? Bad decision? Bishop f3 is a bad move. Huh? Somebody said something, huh? Queen d5. And you want to exchange queens, okay? But then that position is not queen.
e4.
You want to sacrifice both the rooks. Have you analyzed? You want to play bishop h8. Okay, let us see. Queen d4. Yeah, it's a very bold decision. Queen h1. Oh my god. King d2. Queen a1. Now what? Huh? Bishop h8. Think again, huh? Now it's very important moment. If you play, huh? Bishop h8, I can play f6 also.
Queen f6.
Excellent move. Just suffocating that king. And you don't have any choice to save the mate. Apollo designed here because there is no choice. I mean, we can think like d6 for example because there is no other way. Rook 8 makes no difference. I can just play bishop h6. If you play d6, bishop h6, and now only you can delay it by giving queen b2 check. Queen b2, f6, bishop f8, king f8, queen f6 8, king 8, just lengthy variation without any purpose. So black resigned immediately after queen f6. So the importance of this game is that actually white has seen all these things like sacrificing two rooks and understanding that in fianchetto position, the bishop on g7 or g2 is always a very key defender for the king. In absence of that bishop, there is possibility of checkmate because the attack will be too strong to meet because you created major weakness on that square. And you are only, when you created that weakness, the only thing to cover that weakness was that bishop. If that bishop is not there, yes.
Is there any possibility of perpetual or saving checkmate when playing queen a2?
No. So let us go. Which position you are talking about?
After queen f6.
After queen f6. So, okay, king d2, queen a1, pawn on b2.
King g8. Rook f8. Bishop f6. Bishop d7. White bishop. Black pawn f7. White pawn b2. And the black pawn on d7.
His bishop is here.
No, not bishop, pawn on f7.
Bishop d7.
Yeah, pawn is on d7. This pawn, back. Pawn on b2. No, that pawn is there. See, pawn is on b2. So let us see how the perpetual check is there. You want to play queen a2, no? And then I play bishop h6. Where is perpetual?
Queen a5 check.
Huh?
Queen a5 check.
And afterwards, finally I can come to d1. See, you are actually, what to say, on thread. Like I am about to checkmate and you are only delaying it. And of course, you should never resign till the time, I mean, you feel that yes.
What
Huh?
after Queen F5?
Queen F5, King C1 is not working.
King C1, Queen E1.
King C2, sorry.
King C2, Queen F5 check.
Okay. So let us see again, go back.
King C1, King C1.
Okay. When now?
King C1, Queen E1.
Queen E1, what is happening?
King D3.
And the King C1 also, what is happening? Let us say Queen
Queen
E1
E1 check.
and Bishop D1.
Bishop D1.
No check.
Queen A1 check.
Huh?
Queen A1 check after
Where? King C2, King C2. Queen A1 check.
King C2.
Queen
Now Queen A4 check, King B1.
Yeah.
Now Queen, you cannot jump to F5 anyway. Yeah? Yeah, of course we have to make attempts. You know, Nigel's shot is very famous that he doesn't resign till the time he actually gets checkmated. He is in lost position, he will play till checkmate. So these were very interesting games, two games. There is one more game, but it is little lengthy. That game is by Judit Polgar. You want to see or you want to discuss something else? You want to see? Okay. So this is the last game that I have brought. Very nice game. You know about Judit Polgar. Even recently she defeated Carlson in some friendly match. Yeah.
Highest rated player, right?
Huh?
Highest rated woman player.
Yeah, highest rated women player in the history of chess. And like she achieved a Grandmaster title at that time, earlier than whatever Fischer's record was, that time she broke it when she became men's
She
Grandmaster.
has defeated many
Many top
grandmasters,
players.
Many top players.
There is one story wherein Kasparov was playing against her, and there is video recording of it that Kasparov took back the move. Like on the board he played something and he took back the move. Judith was very strong and many players were scared of her because she was very energetic player and aggressive player. Like even Gaprindashvili was very aggressive player. About Vera Menchik, we can say she was more of a positional player. Like okay, of course the times are different. So we can see Judith's game. E4, it's a Austrian attack. You are aware of Austrian attack?
Yeah.
You play that?
Yeah. F4, right?
Yeah, F4. F4 and Bishop E3 and Bishop D3 are two options. Okay. E4, G6. Pawn G6. G. D4. Bishop G7. NC3. D6. 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 F4. NF6. Knight F6. Blacksmith. Yeah. Here are various options are there. Again, white is trying to create attack in the center, taking yes.
In this opening, C5 is the main rule because E5 is also ideal in this kind of structure, but C5 is more.
Yes. More in order. Yes, C5 is possible. I mean, C5 is one of the moves. Again, C5 is played making use of our that diagonal bishop. That diagonal bishop will become powerful if we have some weaknesses along the diagonal. So C5 is a possibility. Of course, he did not play. Here the move played was Knight F3, Castle. So white has space advantage, but some drawbacks are also there. And here there are various ways to play. One is Bishop D3 and one is Bishop E3. Okay. So Bishop E3. Generally, when Bishop E3 is played, opponent is trying to develop queenside pieces and maybe castle long and go for a kingside attack.
Long castle.
Yeah, long castle only. So we are not going to discuss much of a theory. B6.
D6.
Bomb basic. B6. Queen D2. C5. And now long castle. C cross D4. Pawn takes pawn. And now you can keep the pawn here and that pawn there. Yeah. Now after capture. So what you will capture with? Knight. Okay. This is actually very important game strategically. Strategically in the sense that there is very important idea in this game which was utilized by Judit. She played bishop d4. h4, h5 is one of the important plays. Yeah. Knight c6. And what should you do now? Bishop takes f6. You are taking a very bold decision. But bishop f6 is the right decision. Generally we don't give away our bishop so easily. And that g7 bishop is going to remain alive. But what happens when the knight is eliminated from f6? Which is the weakness created in absence of that knight? Which square becomes weak? h7. And to attack that h7 we need to open the h5, right? We need to have that bishop d3 and that diagonal open. So generally we are trained in such a way that we don't want to give away our bishop for the knight. We will not look at that possibility. But this is a like what you say exception in this position because white has a different idea. White played bishop f6. Black played bishop f6. And now h4. Immediately trying for h5, h4. Yeah? Now if you play h5, what should you play?
F5.
Yes, of course. h5, f5. And king side will break. f5. ff. And the king side will break open. Yeah, so h5 was not played.
Okay. H5
Not played. And he played bishop g4. Black played bishop g4. Bishop g4.
White was
How to go for attack. So you have some time to think about this position before taking decision, and whenever you take decision you should be able to follow it up with concrete variation. Yes, so not only one move, little huh? You want to play f5 and opponent will keep that bishop there for you to capture. No, your thoughts are noble, but then opponent has to cooperate. Sometimes we wish our opponents cooperate, yeah?
h5.
And what do you want to play? I mean, your follow-up has to be there after bishop h5,
Bishop h5, rook h5,
gh5.
f5.
Okay. I said that you think for some time. So white has taken a decision and white had visualized, like Judith had visualized this position till the end. Till the time she gets decisive advantage. Huh?
But generally no one takes. They push the pawn to d5. So she takes d5, they don't allow. When c5.
If c5 is allowed, then they play d5, that's what you say?
They push the pawn further.
I mean, you want to close the position after d5. No, that time the pawn, I mean the structure is not like this. c5, d5 comes in a different position. When then they put the knight on c4, they play a4. That is that bd3 line mein aata hai, not this line I think. And here specifically since white has castle long, white wants actually to generate attack. And keeping the center closed, probably white will not be able to open the position.
Knight h2 and g4 looks great.
Now knight h2 and you want to give d1 bishop.
Knight h2 and then after the bishop moves
No, bishop captures d1 rook. nh2, you want to play nh2. You want to play h5, you analyze further. Okay. Huh?
h5, bishop h5, rook h5, gh5, g4. Queen d4 or queen d5.
When?
After this h5, knight d4.
No. You tell again. I just missed it.
h5.
Huh.
Bishop h5, rook h5.
queen d5, knight d4, knight h5,
Knight d4, queen, knight d4.
No, he's on the right track. So basically, see, when we create weakness and we want to attack on h7, we need to take our queen to somewhere in the h file to attack h7. So it is normally not possible because of so many things are coming in the way of the queen. But because c6 knight is weak, because opponent played b6 way early, c6 knight is weak, white is able to play queen d5, gain tempo and switch the queen to h5. Very important point. So when bishop f6 was played, so I will show you. So he played h5, white played h5, bishop h5, no h5, white played h5. Black's last move was
White?
Huh.
Okay, white played it.
h5, correct? So now gh5, in case of gh5, I will play bishop e2 and knight h2. Yeah, somehow I am getting h5 open.
Yeah.
But bishop h5, rook h5, bishop h5 was captured, rook h5, gh5 and queen d5. Very important move. In absence of queen d5, your attack will not be there. Because black will also get time to play rook c8, knight b4, maybe sacrifice on c3 and get counter attack. But in this position, those possibilities get away because you are giving, your knight is under attack. Yeah. So this was the important point in this particular position. And now, after this move, he played rook c8.
Rook c8.
Rook c8 supporting the knight, otherwise knight will go na. Even knight b4 is not helping you. Anyway, I will go queen h5. Yeah, queen h5 and knight g5 is coming. e5, bishop d3 is coming. Yeah, all the possibilities are there. Queen h5, queen captured at h5 point. So look at the material balance, exchange up, right? Black is exchange up, but king is open. h7 is very weak, and that's why I say the two very important pieces. If fianchetto is there, g7 bishop is important, but f6 knight is also very important. It's the best defender for the king, because when knight is on f6, it stops queen from coming to h5, g4. Apart from that, it guards h7 square. Yeah, so attack on h7 cannot be parried in absence of knight on f6. Now for white to conduct the attack is very easy. What black played was bishop g7. Because suppose if you play bishop c3 immediately, I will play knight g5, game over. Yeah? All of you are there, able to understand?
Yes.
Then if you play knight b4 for example, then I won't pay attention to anything. I will first play e5, tempo gaining. Yeah? And then when bishop goes, then knight g5 is coming. Even a3, yeah, e5 is possible, but he did not play. He played bishop g7. Put the knight on c6, back. Bishop g7. Yeah.
Bishop a6.
Knight g5, 6 is coming, no?
Yeah.
So what move will you play now?
Bishop a6.
Bishop is. What is our target? But what we are looking for?
Checkmate the king.
Checkmate the king. Why you are going after the rook?
Knight d4.
Knight?
Bishop d5.
Bishop d3, okay.
Knight d5.
No, somebody said some other move. No, somebody said some other move.
Knight d5.
E5, who said E5? Huh? Nobody said, I heard E5 probably. Wishful thinking. You said E5, yes. E5 is an important move, opening a diagonal for the bishop. Yeah? So E5 was played. Now I am threatening to play bishop d3 next. Yeah? Bishop d3, in case of h6, queen f5 will come. And attack on h7 is unstoppable.
Bishop d3.
Yeah, bishop d3 to follow. No, but it is black's turn to play. Black played queen e8. Queen e8. He is trying to play something like f5 and exchange the queens. But probably h6 was better. So now white decided to play a cool move. White can afford to play a cool move instead of playing attacking move like bishop d3, because he is in position to give the final attack, and he doesn't want to give him chance to exchange the queens. He played queen h3. H3, he played H6. BD3.
Bishop D3.
Bishop D3. Bishop D3. My plan is to play Queen F5. Knight B4. What do you want to do now? What opponent played? Pay attention to opponent's move.
Bishop E4.
Yes, Bishop E4. We cannot afford to give that Bishop. Bishop E4. Now D5 is not possible. He played A6. Irrelevant move.
E6.
E6, sorry. E6.
Pawn is 91 here.
Which one? D6. Do you want to go for pawn? Judith will not like it. She is looking only like at king, like Arjun.
Ma'am, rook could be gained मेरा support.
No wastage of time. Use your energy to create more attack.
Knight G5.
Knight E5, not forcing.
G4.
D4, okay. See, everything may be winning.
F5.
F5. He is just guessing, huh? Okay. Because EF5 is not possible because of Queen F5. And my threat is F6. So the bishop goes away and Queen H6 is possible. Yeah? So F5. See, you look for all the options and which is most energetic, creating problems for opponent and pursuing our attack. Okay? So F5 is that move. And now if he plays D5, F6, BF6, Queen H6 over. Now he made desperate attempt. He is good player, Smirin Ilya. The game was played in Olympiad. Rook C3. Rook C3. Trying to create some fear in opponent's mind. Judith is fearless. She said forget F6. Threat is Queen G4. If you don't move the bishop. If you don't move the bishop, mate. Queen B5. Queen B5. Now trying some desperate attempts. Nothing can be done. Let me try some tricks. And Queen G3. And you can give some checks, Rook C2 and all, but it's not
Queen
working.
G4 was also possible.
Huh?
Queen G4.
Yeah, Queen G4 is also possible, I think. Yeah, not much difference. Queen G4, Rook C2 check. Suppose, I mean, the game, opponent resigned. We are just analyzing further. No, in this Queen G3, Rook C2 check was played. Hello, analysis. This is analysis. Opponent resigned after Queen G3. Rook C2, Bishop C2, Knight A2 check, Bishop comes here, that Bishop, then E2, E4, Knight A2 check, King D2, King D2. So Queen G4 will be better now, Queen B4 check, Queens will get exchanged. If Queen was on G4, yeah? So Queen B4 check, King D2, E2. King is running away. Queen B5 check. King F2. इधर से check. Queen C5 check. King comes to F2. Queen C5 check. King F1 and black said no now. Enough. Yeah. So again a very important game from the point of view that okay, that although this bishop on black bishop is meant to exchange with black's G7 bishop generally, but here in exceptional case that bishop is capturing knight on F6 and creating attack on H7. Very instructive game. So the H4 H5 idea, I am basically taking advantage of unsupported C6 knight, gaining tempo and switching your queen to the king side for attack. So a very nice game, and Judith has played many such games, very aggressive games, wherein she just crushed her opponents. So these are, we have many more players, like I wanted to show games of Humpy and our young players like Divya Deshmukh and Vaishali. They have also been doing well, but we don't have that much time. So I hope you enjoyed the games.
Yes.
And at least you got little introduction about strong women chess players. Yeah? And I don't think that you will forget the name of Vera Menchik now. Yeah? Okay. Because Judith everybody knows. But Vera very few people know. But she was the first women champion, having won the world championship for 8 times in consecutive attempts. Okay. So we'll stop here. If you have anything to ask, you can ask.
How to calculate 2-3 further?
Yeah. So first of all, initial position, in the starting position, it is very important that we pay attention to our piece development, and after every move we have to see what opponent is planning, whether it's a development move or there is some idea behind that move. So you have to try to figure out such ideas. So if there is no idea, sometimes he may create false alarm, like he may create some threat which is not really a threat. So we have, first of all, our calculation have to be correct, perfect. That's for that tactically we have to be alert. Calculation of 2-3 moves can be done if we are good in tactics.
From good position also sometimes we lose
Because many times we tend to give opponent counter attack. Most of the time we lose from good position because we are we are not able to keep the same grip on the position. Like we have advantage, but what happens that we are very eager to finish up the game. We feel that my position is so strong that I must win very fast. So in chess, we don't get extra point for finishing the game fast. We get points only for finishing the game in our favor. Yeah? If you win in 15 minutes or you win for, okay, we will be spending our energy, but we are more interested in having that point. Time is factor only in time trouble. Otherwise, that time factor, like I finish the game in 15 minutes. But there is a risk that sometimes I may lose in 15 minutes. So when position is in our control, we should not let our opponent get any counter chances. For that, even if we have to play slowly, it's okay. But sometimes position are such that we don't play aggressively immediately, the position will slip and opponent will get counter attack. So with experience and seeing many games of strong players, you will be able to judge. Your own experience will count a lot in this, because if you are playing very sharp chess, then you will realize that one small error may give counter attacking chances to opponent. And when we are attacking and suddenly counter attack comes, then we are not mentally prepared for that. At that time, chess psychology plays a role, and suddenly we are not able to give best defense. Always remember that we are not ready for defending the position, and defense is the most difficult part of the game. Attack is easier compared to defense. When we are attacking, attack can come smoothly because they are natural moves in attack. In defense, we have to see what opponent wants to do, and depending on that, we have to find out best move. So defense is a skill we need to acquire. Yes.
How the strong players get to know that they have to play that move at the same that time?
Means?
They have to play that move at that time only.
Yeah, because calculation, and as I told you, we have to see that if I don't play this move, or whenever I am playing this move, what opponent is able to do? Is he creating some trouble for me? What chances opponents have? So if opponent is going to have some chances wherein I will have to, because then when suddenly attack comes on us and we are, so for example, I am attacking continuously and suddenly I see that there is counter attack, and then I lose my control. I lose my control on the mind, on the board, and suddenly I start making mistakes. So every move has to be weighed and played carefully. We cannot play hand moves. We call them hand moves, like okay, just play. And all good looking moves are not good. Yeah, sometimes we feel okay, my pieces are going in the center. But every move we have to find out, is there any better move than this? There is no rush. Rush is possible only when the time is less. We don't have, that time we don't have choice. But when we have ample of time, because chess is such a game wherein so many factors play important role, like our ability to calculate, remain focused, then remain calm and manage our time. all these things we have to do during the course of game, and for that so many things are required, and we also have to maintain good health. Health is very important, and today's top players, for them more than chess, their health is important, because if they are not fit enough, they will not be able to play fighting game for 5 hours and 6 hours, because they are not going to play with weaker players. They are going to play with equally strong players, and they need to maintain their stamina till the end of the game. So staying physically fit is very important factor in preparation of chess. Although it looks we are sitting and playing, we consume lot of our stamina while calculating.
How to improve visualization? Like for example, when I calculate 4 or 5 moves, then after that I am not able to visualize that position. Like I forgot the board in my mind.
So with practice only, first of all, and secondly, sometimes once we develop a judgment about the position, so many strong players, not necessarily they calculate up to 10 moves. They judge the position, that the outcome of this position after 4 moves is in my favor. I am having the bind on the board, so I can go for this position. But with practice only, you will be able to see. Chess requires lot of patience. You need to practice regularly, because you see, one day you play for 7 hours, you practice hard, and 7 days you don't do anything. It will not have positive effect. It will only have negative effect, and all your energy which you utilize for 7 hours will be waste. So on regular basis you have to practice chess. Say okay, you don't have much of a time because of your academics, maybe 1 hour every day, but a focused attempt has to be made. It is not like a ritual. Okay, I did chess, saw something, what you understood from that game, how you are going to utilize certain ideas of that game. This is very important.
I have a question. I'll be very honest, I have never played this game. My daughter plays. मला माहित नाही.
But okay.
But what I've observed, okay, basically she likes classical, okay, and when she goes for some advice or somewhere for coaching or something, okay, so कसं होतं की they tend to change her style. Okay,
I understand. Opening.
In general, like I'm from a cricket background, so I can say that की द्रविड सेवाग सारखा नाही करू शकत, सेवाग द्रविड सारखा नाही मॅच दोघंही जिंकू शकतात. ती कोचची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहे की ह्याला काय नॅचरल आहे ते
with her talent, how she can be groomed so that she can utilize her positive points in a better way.
Yeah, that is one.
No, but sometimes what happens, I don't know about coaches, sometimes if I feel that okay, you are outsider, as you are saying, you don't know much about chess, but suppose now she is playing in a particular style and she is still getting results, but if coach finds that there are some drawbacks in that style and for her improvement that may be hindrance, so they may suggest certain things. So whenever somebody suggests something, you just try to understand whether it is working for her or not. You suddenly don't go for what that coach is saying. You just try to see that okay, for few days I will go what my coach is suggesting, and then whether it is working in her favor or it is not good for her. That call you have to take, but only after some time.
Right.
Straight away you cannot reject certain things. Sometimes that coach may genuinely feel that she needs this change.
Thank you.
And you mentioned that you used to read a lot of books because you did not have access to a lot of software.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of books here, but we sometimes don't know which book to pick or which book to read.
So,
and if we have to read, then how to read?
Yeah. So I will tell you one thing. So in our times, the books which we read were like, there were few books which were known to be the best books. Like in today's time, they may not be the best, but at that time there were books which were guiding force for us because they were having commentary. The books where the commentary is written by world champion, they are definitely the best books because world champion is revealing his thought process and guiding us. So any such book, like in my times, like okay, Judgment and Planning, then there was series by Pacman, Ludwig Pacman. So he had books about strategy. We never knew what the strategy is and we were learning by trial and error. So okay, I was fond of attack. So I was very anti-positional. This positional soundness would not be there. I will just go for attack. I would succeed most of the time. But that doesn't mean that my way of playing was best. So today now with so much of literature and so much of software and so many softwares, we know certain things that this is good, this is bad, this we should not do. But many times we are not able to analyze why it is not good and why it is not correct. So our positional concepts we have to improve. Okay? Generally we know double pawns are bad, but in certain position double pawns may be good. Like especially in the center, if pawns are double, they may not be as bad as isolated double pawns. So everything has some reason, we have to understand that, and we can understand more by analyzing with friends instead of with engines. Like, okay, two friends are sitting and then they are playing a position, so I will play a particular move, you try to refute them. With that only you learn the most.
How to identify on which position should I spend my time on? Because what happens is, like when I am solving puzzles, I know that there is something in this position and I usually find out. But the same rate is very
Not
high.
possible in the game because nobody is giving you hint in the game.
Because I don't know if there is many times I feel that there is something in this position and I spend my time on, but like I don't find anything. And when I analyze, I see that there was nothing in this position, concrete like that things.
So some things are there when actually some tricks will be there. First of all, we know all the basic tricks. Most of the tricks are because of double attack or pin or exposed stake. Yeah. So these are few positions where suppose if you see a loose piece and you are having actually well coordinated pieces, definitely you will find it. We should not spend lot more time on one position if you are not finding. You feel that your position is good, then okay, and tactically you are not able to find the best continuation wherein you can capitalize on your advantage, then try to improve your position further. Time will come when your all advantages will accumulate and then you will be able to find. But don't spend too much of time, because most of the time the players, all of you are from Bombay, so the tournaments which you are playing are rapid tournaments. Most of the time. Very less classical tournaments are there. You are playing, I am sure most of you are playing weekend tournaments. So in rapid tournaments, if you spend lot more time on one position, then subsequently you are going to come in time pressure. So you have to be practical also. So practical wisdom also has to be used. It is not that just okay, chess knowledge is there, but one who is practically shrewd, okay, sometimes get benefit.
Sometimes even if I know the movie classical, I try to play slow.
Yeah.
Because if I play fast, there are a lot of chances that I will end up in blood.
Yeah, that is a good strategy. Only thing is that you have to balance your time. So in some positions you need to think a lot. In some positions, and which are the positions? So there are positions wherein the pawn structure is going to change, or piece exchange is going to happen. Those are critical moments. Whether I should go for exchange of pawns or move the pawn or exchange the piece, because that is going to change the character of the position. So we have to understand, now I am going into this particular position. After going into that position, who is getting more advantage or whose pieces are getting more activity, that we have to pay attention to. So decisions, actually before taking decisions, so many things are important. We cannot, because in chess there are no hard and fast rules. Like 99% of the time what are general principles will work, but maybe 1% of the time that there will be exception. Yeah, so we have to, all this is possible with lot of practice, practical practice. Okay, like with friend, analyze more, go in deep analysis, and you can use engine, but don't depend on engine every now and then. Engine is okay only to verify certain facts. First we have to gain confidence. We will gain confidence only by playing ourselves. Engine will give confidence, but that will not help us during the tournament. Yeah? And don't spend too much time on the opening, but openings are essential. You understand the ideas of the opening. In particular opening, what I need to do and what I need to avoid. And each and every opening basic principles remain the same. Yeah? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.